The hangaround. You're 16 and you know which men in the neighborhood matter. You've watched long enough to understand the language and how people move around them. The way a restaurant clears a table before they walk in. The way cops wave and keep driving. You have heard of the Godfather, the Don, but have never seen him. He is a mysterious ghost who has everything you ever dreamed of. But you don't understand yet that what the leadership has and what it costs are two very different things. Right now, though, that doesn't matter to you. So you make yourself useful. You fetch coffee. You wash the car. You run to the deli for sandwiches while the men play cards. You are free labor and you know it, but you also know you're being watched, but you can't tell by who or for what. That's deliberate. They never tell you you're being tested, because a man who knows he's being tested performs. They want to see what you do when you think no one's paying attention. You say nothing about what you see. You do nothing they didn't ask for. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the men start to see you. L'associato, the associate. Somebody vouches for you. And just like that, the door opens. Not all the way, but enough to change everything about your life. You're an associate now. You work with the family, but not in it. Your life becomes a hustle with structure. You're hijacking trucks, running a sports betting book out of a barbershop, and moving stolen goods through a warehouse nobody asks questions about. Every week you take a fat envelope to the soldier who brought you in, a percentage of everything. If you clear $10,000, $3,000 belongs to him. You're pulling $500 to $1,500 a week, but you're also the most exposed man in the operation. You're the one in the street and the one the FBI watches. Vetting. You've been earning for years without incident. No arrests, no loose talk. A captain puts you on record, which means you belong to his crew and no one outside the family can touch you without going through him. It sounds like protection, and it is, but it's the kind of protection that comes with a door that locks from the outside. The men above you aren't just watching you, they are examining your entire life. Your bloodline must be 100% Italian on your father's side. They're also checking whether anyone in your family has ever spoken to police. Any informant in your history, however distant, and you're finished. Worse than finished. A man who gets this close and doesn't make it through doesn't simply get turned away. Then one day your phone rings. Someone tells you to dress up. You're going somewhere tonight. Il soldato, the made man. It's a quiet room, somewhere private. The senior men are seated. On the table in front of you there's a gun, a knife, and a card bearing the image of a saint. A senior man pricks your trigger finger with a pin and lets a few drops of blood fall onto the card. He places it in your hands and lights it. You pass it from hand to hand, and as it burns, you swear an oath, omertà, silence, for the rest of your life. A capo looks at you and tells you plainly, "We enter this thing alive, and the only way out is dead." You are now a man of honor, and the protection that comes with it is real. Nobody in any family can touch you without permission. You have associates working under you now and clearing $3,000 to $5,000 a week, just managing the flow. After a few years, you're also running a loan shark book. When a man borrows $50,000, every single week he owes you $1,000 in interest. Meanwhile, your name is on the payroll of a construction company where you control who wins each contract and you earn a 2% kickback. You're making $10,000 to $30,000 a week in cash, and none of it looks like anything from the outside. Your associates are afraid of you and your captain trusts you completely. For the first time since you started this, The weight of what you've built feels like something you could actually hold. Il caporegime, the captain. You run a crew of soldiers and associates across a stretch of territory. Every week your soldiers hand you envelopes, you take your cut, and the rest goes up to the boss. You never touch a crime yourself anymore. Your job is to keep the machine running and keep the number growing. You're pulling $50,000 to $100,000 a week, but the boss has a figure in mind every Monday morning. If the economy goes sideways, that's your problem to solve. If the FBI shuts down your gambling room, you find a new one before the week's out. If you stop producing, you don't get fired. In this business, getting replaced means something that doesn't end with a severance package. Il consigliere, the counselor. You don't have a crew anymore and you don't have territory. What you have is something that took decades to build. You have the boss's trust. And in this world, that is the rarest and most dangerous thing to possess. You're the only man standing with the boss to stop him if he's making a mistake. When he's ready to order a captain killed over something that could be resolved with a conversation, you're the one who says, "Wait, think about the costs, how the other families will read it, and whether the FBI is watching this man too closely." Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't. You say it either way, because that's the job. When a dispute is threatening to bring federal attention down on everyone, you're the man in the room finding language that lets both sides walk away with their dignity. You know where everybody is buried, figuratively and otherwise. That knowledge is your shield. But if you stop being useful, you'd be a liability that needed to be managed. Il sottocapo, the underboss. You are second in command, and the distance between your position and the boss's chair is close enough that everyone in the organization is watching how you carry it. Every captain reports to you. You collect the master envelopes, settle the disputes too large for the captains but too small for the boss, and manage the organization that runs on loyalty, violence, and the constant pressure of law enforcement. The boss sets the direction. You make it happen. But you are also the first wall the FBI hits when they build a RICO case. They come for you before they come for him. Because if they break you, they get to him. You can feel it in the surveillance cars outside your house, in the familiar faces in restaurants, and in the friend who starts asking strange questions. You trust almost no one, and the unsettling part is you're not sure if that's paranoia or accurate. Il Don, the boss. You made it. You are sitting at the head of the table. You are effectively a ghost. You never touch a gun or let cash from a racket pass through your hands. You sit on the commission with the other family bosses and divide the city, territory, revenue, permission to operate. You decide who doesn't come home. You make more than $10 million a year, spread across businesses and properties the IRS can't untangle. But there is no peace. The man most loyal to you is also the most dangerous because he knows everything. The FBI has agents whose entire career is about ending yours. There is no retirement. You hold this position until you die in a hospital bed, a prison cell, or on a sidewalk. The fool! They plant a bug in the social club, and you never find it. You've always run things through conversation, through the weight of your voice, and the confidence of a man who believes the code protects him. The FBI records months of it. When they move, they arrest you and your underboss together, and in the holding facility, they play you the tapes. You are convicted and die in a federal medical facility, alone in a way that no amount of money or power was ever going to prevent. Somewhere back in the neighborhood, a kid is watching the men outside the social club. He's 16. He fetches coffee. He keeps his mouth shut. He thinks he's learning how it works, but he has no idea what it costs.